Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for the Leicester versus Chelsea review. 3-1 win, belly full. I am full today. My belly is full, guys. I'm so satisfied with the goals, the quality of the goals, the performance. The performance was up and down. Let's make no mistake. Leicester gave us problems. Leicester's XGFC was higher. But I don't really actually care too much. And I'll tell you why. Because that referee today was moving criminal. He had no control of the game. And Leicester were being very mad with some of their challenges. So I actually have no sympathy. Today I'd like to separate their two teams. Their attack, which I have some respect for, and their defense, which I have no respect for. Screw your defense. Screw your defenders. Screw your back five and your goalkeeper. Actually, the goalkeeper is kind of harsh. But Ricardo Pereira today, FaZe Banks, FaZe Ruggs, FaZe Clang, FaZe, who got sent off. Screw you. But let's start with our team and our win, because it was much needed. And football is a humbler, guys. Football is a humbler. It's 3 wins in a row. It's 2 wins in a row in the Premier League, but we're still in the same position in the Premier League. We didn't even move up today. So if you ever needed humbling, if you ever needed calming down and kind of, you know, brought back down to earth as to how much of a mess we put ourselves in and how much more games we need to win to just get ourselves back into something respectable, that table will humble you. But today, all 3 goals, the quality was fantastic. We started the game. Really, Leicester started the game quite strongly. When you look at Leicester today with Maddison coming in off that left, but also just kind of roaming, Shrewsbury Hall picking up those pockets in the right half space. And of course, you have Daka and Iheanacho as well. It was actually quite troublesome to deal with. We were getting kind of run through in midfield too much in that first half. And they were getting through quite easily. They were picking their passes, creating opportunities here and there. Kepa had to make some big saves. So it wasn't easy in that first half. Obviously, we got our goal with Chilwell, which was just, again, individual brilliance from Chilwell. The ball gets floated in from Koulibaly, of all people. He had a little step over as well to give us something flamboyant, something flexible. Bang! Ball comes in, and Chilwell just absolutely clarts it. I don't know where this anger came from, but you could hear it as well in the celebration. You could see it. This guy was definitely giving it back to the Leicester fans. They were booing him, I'm sure they were, as they always do, but also the FA Cup final. If you remember the FA Cup final, when we lost to Leicester, he scored a goal that was given offside or was disallowed, and he did a mad knee slide celebration in the last minute at Wembley and he got disallowed, so he got absolutely trolled for that. So he got a little bit of revenge there with his goal. Wonderful strike. You could say Danny Ward maybe should be getting to there at his near post, but listen, we got the goal. Again, I don't think we were the team even at the end of the game, I don't sit here and say that we were the better team. I think Leicester put up a proper fight today. They dominated in the second half in terms of possession. In the first like 20-25 minutes, I think it was like 70% possession they had. They created more chances in the first half. They were a good team today in terms of their forward play, but I always knew their defense was there to be got at. I don't rate their defense. The individual players in that defense, I don't look at them and think that there's not serious harm we can do to that defense. We should be getting 3 past this defense with FaZe, who got sent off, with a Mate, who was awful so many times for Leicester, and also at the World Cup for Ghana, with Ricardo Pereira, who put in a disgusting challenge on João Felix in the first half, and he should have been sent off. And the fact that he wasn't, why is this turning red? Listen, stop, focus. It's blue day today, yeah? The fact that he wasn't sent off was where this referee lost the game. And this is why I have no sympathy for Leicester. I have no sympathy, because even though we didn't play brilliantly today and we got our goals and we scored 3 brilliant goals and we won, like I said, I wouldn't say we were the better team. I'd say it was pretty even in the end, or you could even edge it towards Leicester in some of the moments in that match. But the way this referee started this game by not giving that red card for Ricardo Pereira, that disgusting challenge on João Felix, you can hold that. All of you can hold that. We was at times playing against 12 men today with that referee. Some awful decisions. And he just kept going and going with the decisions. There was a challenge from Cucurella where he didn't even touch Shrewsbury Hall. Shrewsbury Hall dived. He gave a foul. He nearly booked Cucurella. Then there was another challenge as well on Felix, which was, again, poor challenge. And it took him so long to get to grips with the game. But by the end, we were also throwing in some dirty challenges. Enzo threw in a challenge. Ricardo Pereira put in another challenge that was then now booked. But at that point, the referee had lost the game. He'd lost the game. People were kicking, shoving, doing all sorts of madness. Bad challenges were going in from both teams. But because he did not put his authority on the match in the first 10 minutes, he had to hold that. So it is what it is. But like I said, great quality of goals. Second goal, Enzo Fernandez today, my man of the match. Now, very close. Kai Havertz was really good as well today. Kai Havertz was our best attacker. But Enzo Fernandez today, the passing from this guy today was, it was bellissimo. It was fantastico. It was perfectico. It was just, the passing today, I had to close my eyes because it was just brazy. Unbelievable passing, especially in the second half. But for that goal for Kai Havertz, right before half time, we didn't even celebrate it. It's like they had PTSD. We all had PTSD from the Felix goal that wasn't given because it was slightly marginal offside. So at this point, we're all traumatized. We can't even see what a goal looks like anymore. So we're just not even, the players didn't even celebrate. The goal went in and it was half time. And suddenly the coverage is gone. I don't see the pitch. I didn't even really deep that we was 2-1 up. It didn't feel right. That pass from Enzo Fernandez, that is what you pay the money for. Defensively, yes, he's not, as you can see again in this game. Defensively, this guy can be caught. He can be got at. And I think it's very clear and it's very easy to see that we need a DM. Next to this guy, you'd like a defensive midfielder. Cover has been playing next to him as well. He's not a defensive midfielder, but we'll get onto him in a minute. I know his injury record is there for questions and obviously the new contract as well, whether he gets that or not. But this is a quality player. Make no mistake. The only questions I have about Mateo Kovacic is his injury record, whether he can stay fit. Same with Kante. But this is another quality player. If we let this guy go to Man City and they find a way to keep him fit, we will regret it. He is a quality player, Mateo Kovacic. But yeah, that goal was just unbelievable. Wonderful little scooped pass against the lowest of low blocks. There's only a few players to try and find, and he finds Kai, and Kai, this is where Kai being cold comes to your advantage. Because sometimes Kai is too cold. Sometimes Kai is too cold for his own good. Sometimes you need Kai to just ruthlessly smash a shot. Sometimes you need Kai to just ruthlessly, put some backlift on things. But this time, Kai, just lovely little dink, and it was fully deserved over the goalkeeper. And today, Kai was our best attacker. Felix, he had a mixed game. He obviously gave the ball away for the goal, which we conceded. A long shot from Daka into the back of the net. He dilly-dallied on the ball too much, and he should have released it earlier. And he's got to pay the price for that with the goal conceded. Mudryk, again, the 007 accusations, they've been flying around, flirting around. But he got over that today. But again, it wouldn't mean that Mudryk had a great performance. I thought Mudryk was definitely out of sorts. And you could see why Graham Potter's taken so long to maybe give him a start. His first touch today was really, really poor. And I feel like Felix and obviously Felix ended up coming off first. Was Felix maybe carrying a little bit of a knock after all of those hits that he took in the first half? Maybe that's why he came off as well, because I wasn't a massive fan of the substitution. To see Gallagher come on for Felix when we were 2-1 up at half time, it felt like we were already going into a very defensive mode, 3-5-2, and almost inviting Leicester to have the 70% possession that they ended up having, and putting ourselves under even more pressure to then go and inevitably concede. So Felix, Mudryk today, for different reasons, weren't on Kai's level, whether it was making that mistake for the goal, whether it was the first touch for Mudryk and him being out of position up front. I don't think he's a striker, but maybe he couldn't depend on him from a defensive standpoint playing in the left wing. Who knows? To get back and help in the midfield. So maybe that's why he played him up front. Loads of questions, but Kai was brilliant today. So his passing again off that right side, just lovely little chipped balls. He created quite a few chances again. This is the kind of creativity and passing I've wanted to see from Kai since he came from Bayer Leverkusen. And in the last couple of games, we're starting to see it. So long may that continue. So he took off Felix at half time. I wasn't too happy, but again, maybe Felix is carrying something, so you understand it. I didn't particularly want it to be Gallagher because that does scream 3-5-2 and defensive, but that's what ended up happening. And we're sitting and we're resting on our laurels, and Amate should really score as well. His free header was ridiculous. What a chance for him. But we are inviting pressure. And they're coming closer and closer. Gallagher, shout out to you because you did make a massive clearance off the line. Big clearance off the line from Gallagher when we're scrapping for our lives on around about the 65th minute. And I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't taste good. This doesn't sound good. This sounds like as if we're about to concede. This looks like we're about to fumble this bag. A bag that, like I said, it's not the prettiest bag of Leicester away. I'm not saying that, our performance was perfect, but we should be beating them. Their defense is not great. I felt like we could hit them for free. Get that third goal, make it comfortable, because that defense individually and collectively is not very good. And then they were knocking on the door, and I was starting to get more and more nervous, more and more worried. I'm sure you guys were as well, because we need to win this game, right? The table doesn't lie. We need to win this game. This win hasn't even moved us to 9th. That's how badly we needed to win this game. And then, Lord and behold, Enzo pops up again with a fantastic pass. And this is one of many because he made a few other passes that ended up being offside as well. There's quite a few offsides today for Mudryk and for others. Mudryk obviously got his goal, but it was offside. And he knee slided, did the whole Drogba thing. Unfortunate. But Enzo, wonderful pass again. And this is why he's man of the match. He was a game changer. He was a game decider today with his passing. Some of the balls he was playing today, outside the right boot, over little loops, little scoops, just unbelievable. And this is why I have no doubts about this player, because the quality is there. The quality is not going anywhere and it's there, and he's so young. The quality is there. But defensively, if you ask him to do things that he's not, shouldn't be tasked primarily, and I say secondary, cool. If he's a secondary player to come and defend next to a DM like a Casemiro, etc., cool. But if you're primarily asking him to defend as your six, or as your more defensive-minded midfielder next to a cover or someone, you're in trouble. So that side of his game is always going to have some sort of limitation. I'd say even Jorginho is better defensively than him. I don't think anybody would argue with that. He's more defensively minded in terms of his tackles and interceptions in close quarters. So he's a different type of player, Enzo. He's a playmaker. And what a pass. Outside the right boot into Kai. Flipped over. Again, Kai. This is what I'm talking about with Kai. The passing in this game, much better. Beautiful ball over for Mudryk. Does very well to header it back across for cover. And the finish is just exquisite. It is just beautiful. It is a wonderful finish. Make no mistake. Outside the right boot, hooked it into the top corner, 3-1, and we're done. And that's it. Game over. And he's rolling on his substitutions at that point. Pulisic's come on before that. He's gone right wing. He's got Carney coming on now. Badiashile's come on for that left side centre-back position when we move to a 4. So we've gone now to a 4 at the back after that 3-5-2. And it's Trevor at the right back position. It's everything just calming down now, calm and collective. The former Leicester boys today, Fofana, Chilwell, they were trying to get their goals. Fofana obviously, and he scored from a corner as well. Forgot to mention, wonderful ball from Chilwell. His set pieces today as well, Chilwell, great crossing today. Really good set pieces from those corners. So, wonderful finish from cover, game over, and we see it out. And Kepa did have a moment as well where his handling from a corner, or from a cross, sorry, and he punched it and listen, parried it. I said it in my preview, this is why I have a little bit of, Ibimijibis in terms of him being long-term first choice, just in terms of those crosses, collections and whatnot. But really good saves in this game as well. Big win, we move. I'm staying very, very, very humble. I'm very humble, right? There's nothing to scream and shout about too much. People asking about Potter. This is great for Potter. Keep it going. It took me a long time. It took me, in my opinion, for what I can have as a breaking point. It took me a while. It took me a big L to have a breaking point in terms of Southampton. And it's now going to take a long while for you to get right back up to the top of my estimations. But this is a fantastic win. And for some fans, they'll agree with me. For some fans, they never gave up in the first place with the manager. That's great. But what I don't want in the Chelsea fan base is this consistent, childish, oh, I was right about Potter, oh, you was wrong, and oh, I was still in and you're still out, and oh. Listen, just focus on the football. Focus on the games. We need to win. Take it game by game, like I said on All You Can Eat Chelsea. Now we go to Everton, we need to win. We didn't move off 10th today. We're on a goal difference of 1. We're now in the pluses. There's more than enough reason, as I've always said on my channel, for you to be in or for you to have been out. But right now, we're all happy for him because we want him to win games. And it's as simple as that. There was more than enough reason for him to be under pressure and on the cusp of a sacking. And now we've seen some wins, but they are against teams we're expected to beat, especially Leeds and Leicester. So keep everything calm, keep everything humble. We're still 10th. We're on +1 goal difference. We're not caught up to Brentford yet. We have work to do. Keep humble, keep calm, and let's keep it moving. There's no need for any childish nonsense. I don't want to see this constantly on my channel with the comments. Everybody stay focused. I want to win games. I want to play Everton tomorrow. Bring me Everton on a sword now, because I just want to win. We have been starved of wins. We've been starved of goals. We've now got 1, 2, 3 in consecutive games. It's wonderful. Give me the next. Give me the 4. Let's go. I can't wait for the next game. I just want us to keep winning because we need to get up that table. And I say this so clearly today because that Liverpool result against Bournemouth only makes me more annoyed as a Chelsea fan. If you flip our results against Tottenham and against Southampton and you give us 6 points there instead of 0, we're currently 2 points off Liverpool and Tottenham. Because Tottenham would be down to 42 points before they obviously played there. So now they'll be on 45. They won today. But we would be 2 or 5 points or whatever it is, 3 points. We would be in touching distance for top 4. But we're not right now because we've been so bad. So it's time to get back on the horse and go and get some wins, and let's see where it takes us. But for now, I'm not talking about any top 4 or any objectives. There's way too much work to do to talk about that. We've got big games coming up. Beat Everton. After the international break, we got Aston Villa, and then we got some tough games away from home. But keep this going. This formation is working. It's starting to make sense. We still have to figure some things out in terms of, you know, when Chilwell's not at left wing back, Cucurella went forward for a cutback later on in the game when he was at left back, couldn't quite make it stick. We know Reece James, what we lose without him in the team. Loftus-Cheek was in there today, gave us all he could. Let's keep going with it. Let's keep going with it. There was a little bit of a weird front three today with Mudryk coming in. It wasn't as the same balance with Sterling, but again, he was up front, out of position. Like I said, we keep working on it. We move to the next game, guys. We move. Happy for the win. Happy for the 3 goals. 3 wonderful goals. Kai, keep performing like this. Keep it going. Enzo, keep passing like this. Defenders, keep defending. And let's keep it moving. But long way to go. Long way to go. The standards have got to go up. In a bit, people. Peace.